My name is Max. I'm originally from Passau in Germany slash Bavaria, and I've been brewing for 15 years now. I started brewing back home in 2007, and after my apprenticeship, I worked for like 2 years as a brewer and started studying brewing and beverage technology in Munich, more precisely in Weihenstephan. And yeah, long story short, after like 5 years, um, after 5 years of studying, I kind of ended up in Australia, started my journey down here in 2017 and have been here ever since, enjoying it. And now I'm a head brewer at Filter Brewing in Marrickville. And Filter Brewing in Marrickville was established in 2017. And but at this time when they started, they only did so-called gypsy brewing, so the big contract brewing. So they had the beer recipes, but they started brewing or getting the beers brewed in other breweries. And since 2020, the production facility in Marrickville in Sydney started brewing beer, and I joined the team last year in the end of August, the start of September, and yeah, just pretty much took over as head brewer now because Sam, the former head brewer, is unfortunately leaving the company. So yeah, that's the current situation, and it's good. Love it. I think because it's just like such an easygoing drink in general and kind of speaks to every kind of people. I know there's obviously people out there that don't drink beer so much, but I think it's so I think the majority, I would say, they love drinking it, and it's in its varieties, in beer styles, and in ABV, so the strength of the alcohol and stuff is like so big, so it makes it kind of like a pretty much seductive beverage, because it's big variety, makes it so interesting, and you have so many possibilities to try different styles and create something new. And I think it's just such a widespread drink and so many facets in it, so that kind of makes it like very appealing for everyone, I would say. I think Australia became a really big participant in the international craft beer industry. I would say, like, they only started in the early 2000s, but they made themselves a really big name over the last 10-15 years, I would say. And we had this down in Australia, they had this this period where most people would drink craft beer from the United States, for example. But since Australia has been developing so many good own craft beer breweries and got really good in quality and got better in quality, and kind of everything increased in better ingredients and better beers and consistency, that you don't actually need foreign craft beers anymore. So we got our own craft beer world here now. And compared to other breweries around the world, other countries who brew beer, I think it's just outstanding how quick Australia kind of became a name in the whole industry worldwide. I think what do we definitely do, like our main source, I would say, we go with the market. So we look, obviously, what are people into at the moment? What styles do they like to drink? Do they want to have easy drinking beers at the moment? Do they want to have hazy beers, like hazy pales, hazy IPAs? A lot of hazy things are going on in that industry at the moment, and that's what we're obviously going after, to kind of deliver in this section whatever the customer just loves to drink. And of course, apart from that, we obviously come up with our own ideas and our own creative minds, because I got very creative brewers I'm working with. And yeah, sometimes it's as simple as like even just a bit of brainstorming for yourself or with your team, and then you pretty much come up with a recipe, create something, and then yeah, that's how it works. So I would say, yeah, definitely. So new technology obviously will push and change the endeavors of brewers. And if you want to become like a really decent and consistent brewery with good quality control and stuff, you gotta introduce new technologies, or start using old technologies, or just get a proper technical area set up. And I think in saying that, when brewers realize that there's so many things I can actually check my quality on the beer, like do quality management, I think that would change like the whole consciousness of a brewer, how he wants to work with beer in the future. So well, we've obviously experienced it being very handy, because it's a very handy tool to use. Because if you don't, let's say you don't quite want to use a normal microscope right now, or just do it with very handy with a laptop or a notebook or tablet or whatever, and then just connect your little oculized box. It's very easy to handle. It's pretty accurate when we get the values, what we get out, the viability of the yeast, the cell counts, and it definitely helps us in a very handy and easy way to know, okay, we want to do this or that pitching rate for this or that beer. And well, at the end of the day, it turns out very well. And the whole Oculus product makes it easy to understand, and also easy to use and easy to explain to others. So Cynthia, as you said, it obviously quality control is important, and should probably become a big topic more and more in today's brewing industry. And I kind of understand, for example, small breweries or brewers who work in small breweries. They they kind of don't want to really deal with those kind of new technology things and do quality control. And I probably would ask them, so what's actually what is your thought process about not using these kind of things? Give them bit of a different view on it, and like possibilities, how to change this, how to change that, and get a bit more like a slow process towards those things. And maybe you can change their minds, or maybe not. But it's not like I would say them, okay, you're stupid only because you don't want to use it. But you also got to consider quality control gets more and more important these days with new laws and stuff in individual countries. So at some point, you probably need to get on top. I think everyone has a love for the beer, the passion for the beer. There's many different processes, but I think if you're a real brewer, you see it as a lifestyle, more like a lifestyle rather than a job.